guys, welcome back to the channel. On this episode what we're going to look at doing is fitting a detachable tow bar and all of the wiring onto this Mercedes Vito van. So what I'll do now is I'll grab the stuff that we've got, unbox it, and we can look at what comes in the kit. So I've just laid out the kit a bit better here so you can get an idea of what comes in the kit. So we've got the detachable tow bar ball with a cover. We've also got this cover here which pops into where the tow bar will mount and detach from, just stopping any dirt and bits and pieces getting in there. We've got the tow bar socket with the wiring. We've got the keys here which unlock and lock this part of the tow bar, just making sure that it's secure. We've then got the bolts and the mounting kit, the manual. The manual's great on this one as well. It gives you a nice step-by-step guide of what to take off, the torque settings and all sorts, which when I've fitted tow bars previously, I've found that quite often they don't have the torque settings, so that's really helpful. Got the tow bar itself with all the relevant E markings on there, and then we've got the bag and bits and pieces for the. We've got the wiring here for the bypass relay for the tow bar, because this is got CAN bus wiring on there, and then we've got the bag here which you put the tow ball in and the other bits and pieces and so on. And then we've just got a little sticker as well that we'll put in place which just shows you how the tow bar there should be clicked in place. So what we do now, we'll look at jacking it up, getting the rear bumper off, and then we can see what we've got to do to start fitting the tow bar brace itself. It's just two Torx bits and then they just pull out the side here. Just on some poppers, just gently pull them sideways. And they've just got a multi-plug connection just here. You just unclip. So you just undo that one and that one, and they pull off the side because they've got a popper down there and another one at the top up there. Just set that over there out of the way. Then we'll look at getting the bumper off. We've just got a load of Torx bolts along the top here. As well that run along the bottom here, so we'll look at taking those off. And then there's some up in the wheel arches here as well. So as you can see, we've now got the bumper off. So what I'm going to do next is take a quick look at the manual, but I believe this towing eye bracket's got to come off because that's where the mounting points are for the new tow bar, so we'll have a look at that and then see what else is needed. Can't get the gun on that one, so I'll be using a ratchet and just clean the bolt off, or the heads of the bolts and the nuts off, so I'm just going to spray some penetrating oil on them. Perfect, so we've now got the towing socket off, or should I say the towing eye. So we've got 2 bolts that go through here and go through the chassis leg, and then we've just got 2 little bolts here. So we can discard that. There. I'm just going to check the other side, see if there's anything. No, there's just the holes here where the tow bar goes. Just give that a bit of a clean there so I can see where they are and get to them. Right. So we've got all the bolts that we need there, and then we've got these, which I would refer to as a sandwich plate. So your main tow bar assembly will go up on one side of the chassis leg, this will be on the other side of the chassis leg, and then the nut and bolt go through, and then you tighten that nuts up. Just like that. So we'll grease those bolts up, get that all in place, and we should be able to pop that all in and torque down the nuts and bolts for that. I just need to work out what side of the chassis leg this will go. So, looks to me as if it's the inside. So there are 3 bolts on each side for this. I've managed to put it on without wearing it, which is good. One in there. So I'm putting it through so that the bolts go through this way on either side, so that it gives you the opportunity to use a torque wrench on the nuts when you need to do those up at the end. So I can just put these little sandwich plates in place now. So just grab the camera, you can see what I've been up to a bit closer. So we've got the tow bar, as you can see, in place, and then we come down underneath, we've got the 3 mounting points there with the sandwich plate, and then on the other side you've got the 3 bolts. So what we do now is we'll get those all torqued up. So that's now all of those torqued up and in place. And we're just going to lock up the back bumper. See where this is going to end up. So I've now got the bumper roughly mocked up in place, and I don't know if you can just see, just here, we've got the tow point, sorry, the trailer socket piece which sits there. So I'm wondering I might bend that slightly forward and then have that so that it's tucked up on the inside, rather than cutting a massive great hole out of the bumper there. I know I've got to cut a small section out around about here for where the tow hitch will come through, but I just think it will look a lot neater if maybe I put that on the inside. So I'll just double check and mock that up and see what that looks like. So just to give you a bit of an update as to where we're at, so I've folded this bracket over and put the towing socket facing down, and run the wiring along here, just tied it up behind the bumper, and then used an existing grommet up in the corner there. And then we've come round up through here. I've just drilled a hole here and put a grommet in, and then that comes up inside the van and then out where the light unit is, just to there. So I haven't filmed putting any wiring through itself because it's quite a long-winded task. Sometimes it can go really quite quickly and other times it can be a real pain. So we should now be able to look at cutting that bit of blue wire off. That's just a piece I used to pull it through with. putting the bumper sort of roughly back in place, and then we can look at getting the wiring set up. As you can see here, this is where the detachable tow ball will sit in there. So what I've done is I've just marked, using the lid of a spray can, I've just marked a rough hole there, measured it out the distance that I need, so I'm going to cut that out and then see how that sits in. So as you can see, I've now just cut all of that out there. So that gives me the space I need for the little handle. I've just filed it all off neatly. So I'm just going to give that a clean and just put the detachable tow bar in, check that that fits okay. So I've now just done a test fit, just fitting the tow ball there. As you can see, it just tucks up in there. And then you've got the socket that you can get to here. So you just flick that down like that. So that's easily accessible. And as I say, you've then got tow ball there. So what we do now is have a look at unboxing the wiring bypass relay and then wiring that back into place. So here we've got the wiring from the tow bar socket itself. So I've just taken the outer sheathing off about, I don't know, probably a couple of inches, just to give me some play to be able to move this around. So we've then got the control box. So we'll have this wiring wires into this side. Then this plug here plugs into here, and this goes into the vehicle wiring. We also need an earth and a live, and the live will have to come from the fuse box, so we've got to work that out. But first I want to get this bit wired in. So we've also got the manual here, so we've got the configurations here. So we're using this particular one down here, so the 7-pin socket. So I'll probably just mark an X on here or something with a piece of paper, pen, just so that then I can see what wires go where and get them wired into that. So we'll do that now. So what I'm doing at the moment is I'm just testing the vehicle electrics to see what wires are what, so that I can make a note of that, and then I know when I'm wiring this, which is the piece for the relay from the vehicle itself, I then know which ones I've got to go in. So I've got the side lights, which is white and black. So I've just put a thing on the brake pedal. I've just got the right indicator on at the minute. So as you can see there, got the indicator there, which is green or black with a green trace. So we'll put the fog light on because the fog light will be on the offside. We've got the fog light on. So the fog light to me looks as if it's the like blue with a sort of like blue with a green in it. So I've got something on the brake pedal for the minute. So that one there, I believe, is showing us the brake light, but I just want to check. Just want to check the side lights. So I get side and brake through the sort of blue wire with a black trace. And I'll just check the near side indicator and see what wire that is. So the black with a white, black with white equals near side indicator. Then we just got to check reverse. Yeah, which we've got in that white with a yellow. So white with yellow equals reverse. Okay, perfect. So we're now at the point where we've wired in the tow bar socket, so the point that comes up from the tow bar itself, and then we're going to look at wiring into the vehicle itself. So that blue wire is the indicator wire that I've run up from round here and then down to the near side, which is there. So I've just peeled back that wiring there, so I'm going to tap that into there. I've then also got a red wire which runs along the top and is going to go to the front, because it recommends that you have, if you can see that little green plug there, you have a live coming in, a constant live coming in for there, and then you've got that black one which is the earth. So the only one missing out of here at the back there is an earth, so we'll tap that earth and that earth together and then put them on the chassis. So I'm just going to connect this indicator up to that side on the near side and then wire it into this bit. So I'll get on with that now. So as I'm carrying on the wiring here, I've just run the power up through the same place as the indicator, along through here, along the front there, down the head lining, down the A-pillar. So we're going to have a quick look. Down through there, and then into the fuse holder there. Got the inline fuse here, and I've basically just taken it off of, put a spade terminal connector on and gone into the existing fuse board. Basically just checking that there's power there on the ignition. So I'll tidy that up in a moment. If we come back round. So I've now just wired all of these in using the heat shrink connectors. So we've now got all of those in place, the ones that we need. So we've got the indicator over there, we've got the brake lights and the side lights, we've got both indicators, we've got the fog light. We have wired in reverse, but there's not a reverse that comes out of the CAN bus, as you can see. The second pin up on the left there, just where it says AR, we haven't got reverse. So, but we could put that in at a later date if we wanted to, or if this socket ever fails and gets changed. So basically now it's just a case of tidying up all this wiring here, putting all of that back in place, putting the lights back in. I have tested it briefly on a trailer board, but the trailer board's only half working. I think it's damaged, so we'll get a trailer and then we can put it up against that and try that. So again, we just tidy that power wire up along there and then we can test it all. So we're all done with the Vito. Unfortunately, we weren't able to find a trailer or a trailer bar to be able to test it fully. So I have just done some voltmeter tests, checked it all over, and it all seems to be working. So I hope people find that video helpful. If you've enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, and if anyone's got any suggestions about some other videos they might like to see, might be something we can do. Thanks for watching. Cheers, guys.